So, Bryce, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Did you have a brother that played at Ragsdale?
Yes, sir.
Brandon
Walker, yes, sir.
He was a good one. What number did he wear?
16.
Yeah, he was, gosh, back in the day, Brandon, he played a little baseball back in the beginning,
Yeah,
too.
he played baseball, too.
You're a good kid. I don't know why I always thought a lot of that. I think a lot of you, too. Now, you're a good one. I appreciate you. But, man, that kid back in the day, he was a good return man. We talked about Braxton Boykins on some returns now. But your brother back your brother was there about the same time Deshaun was there.
When Deshaun was there, he was a freshman, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of intertwined just a little bit then. What's your brother doing these days?
Right now, he's just working, trying to get his money up, and hopefully going to school sometime next year. So
Gotcha.
He's getting his stuff together right now.
What does your dad coach some also? Does he coach or what?
Yeah, he coached for Ragsdale. He's a defensive line coach at Ragsdale, and he also coaches wrestling.
Man, that Walker family is serious about their football, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you the youngest?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Gotcha. Brandon Walker. What's your dad's first name?
Lewis Walker.
Lewis Walker. You coaching defensive
line.
Defensive line. Now, do you play defensive line or are you a linebacker?
I'm a linebacker.
You look like you could play some defensive line. Pretty stocky. So who's your linebacker mate? Is Zan Swaim linebacker also?
Zan Swaim, Alex Ileskis, and Andrew Martin. We all rotate.
Pretty good linebacker core then. And you're a senior this year.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Look like you could be about in the 10th grade. You still look young. You're going to appreciate that in years to come, too. Be glad you're looking young. What's been the big key thing for you this year? What's made this a good year for you?
Well, really, my seniors help. We've been pushing each other in practice, so we can come out to be a better team. And that's really what pushed me these past couple of weeks to be a better player for my teammates. And also, I say it's my senior class. We help each other out.
Has it been fun so far?
So far, it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, is there like one or two words that might describe this year for you up to this point? Can you think of a key word or maybe a couple words that might describe what it's been for you so far this senior year?
Really just learning. Since Coach Boykins came, he's brought a new scheme to our defense. So really just sitting down and just learning stuff from Coach Boykins.
How long have you been a starter at that linebacker spot?
3 years.
This is your third year?
This is my third year.
Now, Coach Boykins back, right?
Yes, sir.
How long had he been gone? A couple of years?
2 years. I would say 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
South Carolina for a little while.
Yeah, in South Carolina.
Defense is looking good. Mentioning earlier, I think it was Tevin may have mentioned this, maybe TJ mentioned it too, the fact that the defense has kind of carried the offense early in the season, but that offense is kind of coming together.
Well, yeah, ever since our quarterback went down the first game, the defense really had to step up as Tevin learns how to play the quarterback position. But I feel like he's come a long way and the defense come a long way. So we're seeing pretty solid right now.
What's your responsibility to say Southeast, we figure they're going to run the ball a lot. Say they line up in a formation right, you figure the run's coming. What's your responsibility as a linebacker? What do you think as soon as they get lined up in that offensive formation?
As soon as they line up in the formation, you want to see where the two running backs are lined up. If they're to you or they're away from you, where's the tight end? Those are your key reads, are the running backs to the offensive guards. And it's all about reading the running backs and guards.
If that tight end is on your side, does that mean you pretty much think the ball is coming to that side of the field? They're going to be coming down that way?
Well, you never know. It just depends what formation they're in. Sometimes the tight end, they might run it weak, and they might run it strong side. So sometimes you never know.
And from your linebacker position, do you line up the same spot every time, or do you overlap, flip around back and forth?
I'm the weak side linebacker, so usually the tight end goes to the left, I go to the right.
So you're going to be moving around quite a bit then?
Yes, sir.
Does that ever get confusing, though, or are you guys pretty well used to it?
Once you know what your keys are and what the strength calls to, it gets pretty easy.
What's the toughest part about your job?
Probably getting the calls to like the DBs and the offense, because you're basically the quarterback of the defense. So you have to get the plays out to everybody. That's probably the hardest job.
And you're kind of lining up on the inside or on the outside as a linebacker?
It all depends. So with me playing the weak side linebacker, I'm mostly inside the box with the middle linebacker.
Who do you watch on TV that's a linebacker you kind of study and follow?
Well, my favorite linebacker is John Beeson.
Oh, yeah.
New York
Did you
Giants.
like him with the Panthers and still like him with the Giants?
Yeah, that's where I started. I'm a Panthers fan, so that's where it came from.
I'm watching Luke Kuechly. That's kind of where I got that
I like Luke Kuechly, but
the crazy thing is, I don't remember as a young kid watching football. I never realized, never saw linebackers get that much involved in pass coverage as a guy like he does. It's unreal. I mean, he doesn't only. It's not like at the middle of the field. He's way on back there in pass coverage.
Yeah, he gets back there. He's a pretty fast guy at the middle linebacker position.
Are you back there covering passes like that too?
Well, I try.
Yeah, you'd like to get back to it, huh? Have you picked any off, intercepted any?
Not this year.
Yeah. Before?
Yeah, I had a pick last year and a pick my sophomore year.
And when you get one of those picks, I know you remember both of those pretty well. You remember them pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get any return yardage?
Actually, last year I got a pick 6.
You took it all the way back?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you're moving as fast as your brother was, too, then.
Yes, sir.
That's good stuff. So you took it back for a touchdown. What game was that in?
It was the Northeast game last year.
That was early in the season, then.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Good stuff again. Bryce Walker with us. I would ask you a few more things. I want to make sure we're going to get Zan in here. I'll give you the standard questions now. But doing a good job this year for the Ragsdale Tigers. What about, we asked this maybe a little bit earlier, but let's get straight to it in a straight question form. What has been the key to Ragsdale's success again this year?
I would say us coming together as a family, because without being a family, without camaraderie, there's no talking. So everybody's just doing their own thing. But I say this year, everybody's together. We're all connected as a family, and I feel like that really pushes us.
Are you guys pretty big talkers on the field? A lot of people talking out there on the field defensively?
Well, we talk to each other, but we usually don't try to get anything with the other team. We stay within ourselves.
And like you guys, the linebackers, you guys probably do more of the talking than some of the other guys, because you guys are considered kind of like the quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, we have to get the calls out and checks and stuff.
If there was too much talking on defense, it may get out of hand anyway.
It'll get pretty confusing.
It's like a classroom. You get too many people talking they're not supposed to be, then it's not going to work right.
Yeah.
But the linebackers, they got the calls, the main calls. You guys calling stuff too, the defensive backs pick up on also?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Good stuff with Bryce Walker. How about the most challenging thing about Southeast again? You said it's probably the running game for them?
Just their whole offensive scheme, because they're a wing team, and so it's just really knowing what your reads are. So probably their offensive scheme and their running backs.
I'm thinking about you guys at home, you and your dad, maybe even your brother, maybe family too. Are you guys in the spare time watching a lot of football, talking a lot of football?
Yeah, we spend our Sundays most time watching football games.
Do you guys hit that website, that Huddle website, watch highlights on there, stuff like that?
Well, we watch film on there to scout our opponents. So that's what we use it for.
Gotcha. How about favorite coach all time?
Favorite coach, I had to say my dad.
I would say so too, because he probably coached you back when you were just a kid too, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you play Jamestown youth football or?
I actually played rec ball at Lewis Center.
Oh. Who were they? What nickname? Were you guys the Panthers back then?
Yeah, Panthers.
Good stuff. How about favorite teacher?
Favorite teacher, I would have to say probably Coach Norwood. He was a real good coach.
And that was in the world history class?
In world history.
He knows his stuff, man. Got to give that guy credit. Teaching history, you got to be together on that.
Yes, sir.
How about least favorite class?
Least favorite class, probably math.
Math is tough for everybody. I know that's right. How about the most you've ever weighed?
Most I ever weighed was about 195.
Really? What do you weigh now?
About 190.
Yeah, so you're 5 pounds off that. How tall are you?
About 5'11", 6 foot between there.
So do you play D1 or D2 or D3 football in college?
I don't know. That's up to the coach that decided to talk to me. So
you're going to talk to somebody that you want to talk, right?
Yeah.
You're interested in college football, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. How about least favorite food?
My least favorite food probably would be broccoli.
Okay. No broccoli, no spinach, no cabbage. I've heard those from that. Cabbage, spinach, and now broccoli, the green type foods. How about favorite midnight snack or a favorite late night restaurant? Got a favorite snack late?
Favorite snack would probably be chips.
Chips? Everybody likes those chips? Munch on those late? Most famous person you've ever met?
Famous person I ever met was a college wrestler over the summer at Ohio State. His name was Logan Stieber.
Wow. What's the name again?
Logan Stieber.
Gotcha. How about, gosh, there's some interesting stuff there. Now, you a wrestler also?
Yes, sir.
Wow. You did pretty well last year, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you win the states?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I knew there's some history about this guy. Here's a wrestler right now. I'm going to bring this guy in later tonight. Listen, fantasy wrestling now. We got to do some. This guy's coming in. Before I give you his name, can you beat him? Could you beat this guy? He's coming in.
I mean, I have confidence in my skill, but I hope
weight
so.
class are you in?
170.
Man, he may be a little heavy for you, but if I brought Brock Lesnar in right now, how about that? That guy's huge, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty big.
You've seen him before, I know. You've seen him on TV.
I've seen him on TV.
Yeah. 170. So you drop about, what, 20 pounds wrestling? Or
well, yeah, it comes off easy. Once you get to the ground of wrestling, the weight just kind of falls off.
Interesting stuff. State champion last year, too, huh?
Yes, sir.
We used to do the arm wrestling challenge here. I nearly hurt a kid. They had to call the authorities in. But, boy, you would be pretty tough in that, too. That's good. I mean, that's good stuff. I remember some of that wrestling from Ragsdale last year. I forgot you were a state champion. 170-pound class. Very good stuff. Okay, we talked about that college wrestler. You met him. Who's the toughest player or team you've ever faced?
Probably Dudley.
Dudley, yeah. Who's the toughest wrestler? You know, is there a wrestler you faced that was pretty tough?
Toughest wrestler was probably the guy I wrestled in the state finals last year. His name was Jordan Thompson. He's a pretty good wrestler. That was probably one of my toughest matches of high school. So.
Where was he from again?
Huff High School.
Huff down around Charlotte. Gotcha. Cornelius Huff. Good stuff with Huff. How about favorite sport other than football? Would it be wrestling?
Yeah, it's wrestling.
Yeah, good stuff. Most thrilling moment in sports for you? Big game, big play?
It'll probably be my sophomore year when we went to overtime and beat Dudley.
Wow. Man, I'm trying to think. Was that at your place or their place?
It was at their place. That was the first loss they had in the new stadium.
Gosh, that is big. I've almost forgotten you guys ever beat Dudley because many times you guys would go over there back in the earlier days. Your brother was playing. Those days it'd be tough to beat them. Remember those big playoff games back in the day? Interesting. So you guys knocked off Dudley and beat them at their place.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Bryce Walker with a state champion in wrestling and not too bad in football too. What would you say? Is there a candy bar energy drink that gives you a big instant boost of energy?
I have to say Gatorade.
Gatorade's good for you then. Good stuff. The class you could take over and teach at Ragsdale, what class would that be?
Probably PE.
Yeah, you can teach that because that wrestling, you can teach that right away.
Oh, yeah.
You ever have to get mean and get tough on these kids, these wrestling matches? Ever had to get pretty rough on these guys?
Wrestling matches are pretty physical, so yeah, it gets pretty mean and grueling in a wrestling match.
Got any good competition on your team, your wrestling team, your teammates to give you a good workout?
Yeah, I have to have a pretty good wrestling partner, and Brandon Harris, a running back at Ragsdale.
Really?
He also wrestles.
What weight class is he in?
About 152.
So he dropped some weight too for me.
Oh, well, he stays around the 150 range, and then my other wrestling partner, Devin Jakes, is the center at Ragsdale.
What's he weigh?
He's about around my weight.
So you got guys, this is good stuff. So you do have some competition. That makes a difference because you go to the States coming off a wrestling team, maybe that practices aren't that tough, then it's like a rude awakening when you get there.
Oh yeah, you got to have good practice partners.
You go wrestle in college maybe?
I hope to.
Yep, football mainly, but just wrestling probably.
Probably wrestling.
Yeah. Are the colleges that are out looking for wrestlers? You know, are they recruiting for wrestlers, you think?
Colleges, yeah, there's some colleges. I mean, there are not really a lot of schools in North Carolina that have wrestling teams, but there are a few out there.
Would you have to go out of state maybe?
No, there's some good programs in North Carolina.
So you might shoot in there. How about some games this weekend coming up? Clemson or Florida State? Who do you like there?
I have to say Florida State.
Stick with Florida State. What about Carolina and East Carolina?
Carolina.
Do you know the Carolina quarterback's name?
I do not, but I'm a Carolina fan, so I have to go with Carolina.
You'll know his name Saturday. You'll probably watch that game. 3:30, I think, coming on TV.
Okay.
What about the Panthers and Steelers on Sunday night?
I got to go with my Panthers.
Like the Panthers? And Keekly, how about Thomas Davis?
Yeah, he's a really good linebacker.
That guy, he had like 2 of those ACL
Yeah, ACLs in both
still
knees.
Came back.
Yeah.
Amazing with that. I thought he was done. I wrote the guy off. What high school game, a college game, or a pro game would be your lock of the week? Guaranteed win. Who's the lock of the week?
I would have to say probably Florida State, even though Jameis Winston's out for the first half. I just feel like they're an elite team, and they can power over Clemson.
They had a good wrestler back in the day. Look this guy up on Wikipedia when you get home. Ron Simmons. Ever heard his name, Ron Simmons?
I've never heard his
Middle
name.
guard, Florida State, went to professional wrestling, was unreal. Unreal. Ron Simmons. Your dad may remember him. Check out Ron Simmons sometime to get a chance. Who's in the most hot water now? Ray Rice, Greg Hardy, Adrian Peterson, or the Jonathan Dwyer gentleman from the Cardinals?
I would have to say Adrian Peterson because of what such a good season he had a couple years ago and how people thought he was a good person. And for that to come out, that probably changed a lot of perspectives to people on how he really is. But in my opinion, I still feel like he's a good person. So,
what do you think would be the toughest whipping or toughest switch to get? Would it be like an oak limb, a hickory branch? Would it be like a belt or the bungee cord?
They all hurt, so I don't know.
Pain is pain, right?
Yeah, pain is pain, wherever it comes from.
What is? I'm gonna get you done here soon. But what is tougher pain? That type of beating pain, or the physical pain you endure in football and in wrestling? Because I've seen some wrestling pain sometimes that could take you to a level some people have never been to.
Probably wrestling and football because it's over a long period of time. I mean, a whipping that's a short burst. It doesn't hurt too long after it's finished.
I've taken the whipping. I've taken the belt when I was a kid. That was part of the game back in that day. We knew it. It was nothing unusual. But if you kind of cringe a little bit when they hit you, kind of bend over a little bit, it kind of absorbs that belt. There are different tricks tricks to the trade.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Taking
tricks.
beating. We can talk more about the beating all day long, but give us to me quick here. What's the route to take? You leave going from Jamestown to play Southeast.
I couldn't tell you.
We don't know the way up there. We gotta. How are we gonna get to that game tomorrow? We gotta find out. Maybe.
I know it's somewhere near Pleasant Garden, I think.
Yeah, it's at Forest Oaks. But when you come out of Ragsdale, what move do you make? Any idea?
I have no clue.
Everybody hops in the bus and just goes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you've done a good job. Enjoy the wrestling talk too. Look up that Ron Simmons and find out a little bit, and maybe send me an email. Tell me what you learned about that guy.